𝒏 woke up by the sound of alarm and went to bathroom to do her morning routine. After completing her morning routine, she came to the side of bed where Jungkook was sleeping. She took a deep breath and said, shaking him a little, but he hummed in response. And Ryan again shook him, but a little hard, to which he groaned and said lazily with his eyes still closed, she said, to which he nodded, eyes still closed. Ryan shook him hard and left the room, almost running. He muttered under his breath and shook his head in disbelief, but nonetheless he got up and started to do his morning routine. After preparing breakfast and serving it in dining room, she sighed when Jungkook was still not coming. She was about to call him again, but stopped when she noticed him coming, full ready for office. She said, looking at him, to which he nodded and said, he said and sat on his chair. Ryan rolled her eyes and sat on her chair. They both started to do their breakfast, while talking a little bit in between about random stuff. He said after doing breakfast and stand up, went to living room with Ryan and said, he said, pecking her forehead, to which Ryan smiled and nodded, and then he left. After Jungkook left, she started to do house chores. First, she went to kitchen to do the dishes, and after completing house chores, she started to watch her favorite show. They don't have any maid because Ryan don't want one. Jungkook tried to convince her that she don't have to do the house chores, but she said she will be bored otherwise, so she do the house chores. She was watching her favorite show when the bell rings, indicating someone is at door. She groaned, but didn't want to open the door. After 3 to 4 times bell ring, she went to open the door. She asked as soon as she opened the door and saw her stepsister. Ryan was only 12 years old when her mother died. Her father was worried about Ryan. He wanted her to feel mother's love. After 2 years of Ryan's mother's death, her father married again, and that woman already had a daughter, older than Ryan. Her stepmother's behavior was good with Ryan, but Ryan was happy that she has a sister now. But it only lasts only few months when her stepmother starts to behave badly with her. She make her do the house chores, and one little mistake, she abused her, and in school, her stepsister bullied her. One time, she tried to tell her father about it all, but her stepmother told her father that Ryan don't like her and wants her to leave her alone. Her father told her to give her stepmother a chance, but then she never told her father about anything. One day, her father asked both of them, Ryan and her stepsister. He wanted one of them to marry Mr. John's son. Firstly, he asked her stepsister, but she denied and left. And then her father asked her. She thought about it and then agreed. She agreed, thinking she won't have to endure her stepmother's abusive behavior anymore. But when her stepsister saw Jungkook, she started to tell Ryan to back off, or one day she will take Jungkook away from her. Jungkook is a cold person. He acted cold towards Ryan at start, but gradually he starts to open up, and Ryan was the first to fall in love with him. He only has soft side for 𝒏 and act cold towards everyone except 𝒏. It's been 1 year since Jungkook and 𝒏's marriage, and they both are happy with each other, and 🏜's father died after 3 months of 🏜's marriage. She asked, pushing 🏜aside, and entered in living room. She said, and at the end of her sentence, she pointed at the door, to which her stepsister just rolled her eyes and sat on couch, crossed leg. She was not able to complete her sentence as her stepsister interrupted, cutting her sentence, and said, She said, to which her stepsister stand up and came towards 𝒏 and said, She starts saying bad things about her, even though she knows that 𝒏 is insecure about her body from the very start. She knows that this is her weak point. She cursed herself internally for stuttering. She said, pointing at her, and she was about to say something else, but stopped when she heard. He said coldly, looking at her stepsister. He was angry seeing her in his house. He knew about how she and her mother abused 𝒏. He walked towards them and stand beside 𝒏 and said, He asked, looking at stepsister, who gulped, but soon smiled and said, She said and looked at 𝒏, smiling, forced smile. He said calmly, trying to control his anger, but 𝒏's stepsister's eyes darkened, and she said, glaring at 𝒏, and then continued, She was not able to continue her sentence further when 𝒏 slapped her. She said a little loud. Her stepsister placed her hand on her cheek where 𝒏 slapped her, and then looked at Jungkook, who was clearing her. She lastly looked at 𝒏 again and left. As soon as she left, 𝒏 sighed and rubbed her face. Jungkook's eyes softened, and he said, She said and sighed, and Jungkook hugged her, and she said, Jungkook cut her sentence and said, He said, and after that there was silence. No one spoke. After a while, 𝒏 broke the silence and said, 𝒏 smiled and nodded and said, She was about to go, but stopped and said, She said, to which Jungkook smiled widely and pecked her cheek and said,